If you're watching this video, then that means that my secret challenge reveal, running a marathon, that video is now live. So if you want context for the next 8 weeks, I suggest you go check that out if you haven't seen it yet. But the short answer is that I'm running a marathon to raise awareness for sexual assault. I was sexually abused when I was 14 years old, and resultantly I have a slew of body traumas and body insecurities that have been unresolved for the last 9 years of my life, simply because I haven't been ready or wanted to get into it. But for the next 8 weeks, I'm going to be doing a deep dive with my therapist in regards to all things body, talking about those insecurities, those unresolved traumas, with the hopes that I can finally begin to heal. And I want to share all of those lessons and takeaways with all of you while I prep for this marathon. Today, I'm talking about all of my goals specifically and doing essentially baseline setting so you know where I'm starting, because we have a lot of ground to cover. All right, 7 miles complete. It went really well. As most of you know, I moved out a few months ago, and most of my running foundation is back at home, where it's definitely flatter than it is here. And this 7-mile route that I take is a lot of rolling hills, and last week it just wrecked me. But I came in this week and I said, you know what, I'm not gonna find a new route. If I practice the hills now, it'll help me when it comes time for the marathon to have that practice and know how to turn on my legs. Now it's time to shower, change, and talk goal number 1. So when I finish a run, it's super important that I get quality nutrition, especially right after the run. So right here, we've got a bowl of egg whites, and we've also got a bowl of oatmeal with bananas and honey on top. And I can tell you that I'm already triggered because this is carbs on top of carbs on top of carbs. And that shouldn't be something that bothers me, but it does. And that's how the eggs and oats combo gets us to my first 2 goals, which are to improve the relationship that I have with my body and to learn proper nutrition and fueling, because this shouldn't scare me. So my entire life I've struggled with my body image. I've been a compulsive body checker. So if you don't know, that means like constantly looking at myself in the mirror, seeing do I look physically bigger or not, weighing myself every single day. I basically have a mini panic attack every single time that I'm bloated or the scale goes up by half a pound. And all of these behaviors taught me that I should be small in order to diminish that behavior. So I became very obsessed with eating less, because if I eat less, then I'll lose weight and I'll be smaller, and then maybe hopefully we'll be able to diminish some of those symptoms of the broader issue, which is that I'm very uncomfortable with my body. Over the last few years, it's gotten worse and worse. My eating habits have become more and more restrictive. I've become carb phobic. I'm conscious of the size of my meals. I'm running 4 times a week. I'm in the gym strength training 5 to 6 to 7 times a week, and I'm still afraid to eat a banana, which makes no sense to me. And it's caused me to not properly fuel myself by eating enough. I'm making my body go through such grueling, intense physical exercise, and I'm simply just so afraid of gaining weight or looking a certain way because of all these old traumas that I'm underfueling myself. And I know that it's gonna hold me back from goals like running a marathon, which are super important to me. By reducing the disordered eating habits that I have, which obviously I understand come from deeper psychological wounds, which is where all of that inner work from therapy is gonna come in, I know that I'm gonna run a marathon better. I know that I'm gonna perform and feel at my best in a way that honestly I probably haven't for years. 2 is complete, if you even want to call it that. I literally just walked on the treadmill and journaled. Goals number 3 and 4 are to view my body as capable and to optimize rest and recovery for performance. So I still love strength training, even though my body's energy demands right now are higher because of all the running that I'm doing. And I'm still in the gym every single day, basically. I'm still strength training 5 to 7 times a week, like I said, and that's fine, but I need to make sure that I'm recovering. I need to make sure that I'm foam rolling. I'm spinning out to keep my legs fresh for that running. I need to make sure that I'm stretching. I need to do all the slower activities that will allow my body and brain to downshift in order to properly rest and recover. If I don't prioritize that, if I don't optimize for that, then all of this intensity, I just won't recover from it, and then I'll end up just glorifyingly punishing myself. The concept or the quote that comes to mind now more than ever before in my life is, "You deserve to heal." I shouldn't be suffering 24/7, and if all I'm doing is forcing my body to go into the gym and run these monster mileage and crush an intense workout, and I'm not doing anything to allow my body to slow down, then I'm just making myself suffer for no good reason at all. This right here, 9 out of 10. Now the flip side to all this intense training that I'm doing is that on the days where I'm too tired, on the days where my body's not recovering well, and I need to skip a strength workout or a run doesn't go well, I have a very toxic dialogue with myself about how incapable my body is on that one day where it's not showing up and being 100%. Instead of being proud of all the ways that my body shows up for me, instead of being proud of this monster mileage that I'm doing on some of these long runs, or the way that maybe one week I'll show up and crush 4 strength training workouts instead of 5, I focus on that one that's not superb. And I'd like to be proud of my body for all the good that it's doing for me, you know? And the best and final goal, the one that I care about more than honestly all of the other ones combined, is to forgive myself for all of the things that I've been through. When you face bodily trauma, it's very easy to become a body person, and obsessive training, obsessive dieting, restriction, intensity, it's all very common amongst body people. We're used to suffering, so it's easy to continue to make ourselves suffer, and in low doses, that can be a very good thing, but you need balance. And I'm not gonna lie to you, it's easy for an average person to see the muscle that I carry and my physique and the level that I'm trained at and the fitness that I carry and be proud and think that it's really awesome. But true strength to me is something different. True strength to me would be overcoming the traumas that put me here, removing antiquated armor that tells me that I need to be tough in order to avoid being hurt, and giving my body the love that it needs and deserves in order to heal. With that being said, guys, I am gonna wrap up the video here. If you liked the video, then please drop it a like down below. Subscribe to the channel if you are new. Thanks so much for being here, and I'll see you next week.